Golf News RI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast.
That's good.
Here are the dudes.
Hey everybody, welcome. Happy Thursday night. Another episode of the Golf Dudes Podcast is underway. I'm Golf News RI Joe Calabro. That, of course, is Rich Capali, as always. Mr. Rich, how are you today?
Not bad. U.S. Open week. Beautiful weather. Couldn't ask for much more.
It's beautiful here. It's beautiful at Torrey Pines.
For once, yeah.
Can't complain too much. So, yeah, U.S. Open is underway. It's still going on. We have live updates coming into the Golf News RI headquarters here as we speak. And let's just, we have a few local things to get to as well. But let's start with that because that's obviously a big deal. Takeaways from the U.S. Open today, Torrey Pines kicking everyone's butt is the general consensus, it sounds like.
Yeah, pretty much. It was as advertised, as we said in the previous episode. Not so much carnage. There was a couple high numbers. Phil was at 4 over. The last I checked, I'm looking right now. Phil was at 4 over. Let's see. The highest is 11 over, but that's not really anything. Let's see what else we got. Kevin Na plus 6, Martin Keimer plus 6. So that's as big of the name, big on names as you're going to get in the high numbers. Max Homa 5 over. He had a crappy day today. Let's see. Yep, Phil finished 4 over. Morikawa 4 over. That was a big. That's a big. Surprise too, but yeah, like we said, nothing really surprising. Brooks said in his press conference after his thing, he didn't realize how much the wind kicked up. So that was a big surprise for him in his round. But yeah, other than that, you got Russell Henley at 4 under, tied with Francesco Molinari and Rafa Cabrera-Bello at 3 under, with Brooks and Xander at 2 under. So.
Now, Cabrera-Bello, according to the standings
Bogey
I have,
free?
is
Bogey
free.
He was bogey free when I left the house.
He's not finished yet, they said.
Oh, he did finish.
Oh, he just finished.
Yeah, he
Okay,
just
fair
finished
enough.
that. Yeah,
So-
bogey free, 3 under. Yeah.
These guys that are in the lead right now, I mean, does the leaderboard really start at Alexander Schauffele and Brooks Koepka? I mean, is that the real leaders after day one? Barring, I mean, now keep in mind they're still on the course. I don't know if they're going to finish tonight.
I mean, we haven't heard Molinari's name since the Masters.
Right,
When
he
Tiger won
cracked
it.
the
So
fans.
he kind of dropped off the map. I mean, realistically, no. Realistically, yes, to your question, I'm sorry. Yeah, leaderboard starts what? Saturday morning?
Right,
Realistically, basically.
But right now, if you're looking at the leaderboard, it starts with Alexander Schauffele.
It starts with, yeah.
Russell Henley is not going to be there.
No.
Cabrera-Bello, he hasn't won a thing in 25,000 years.
Yeah. Matsuyama's 1 under 2. Forgot to say
Roy-
that.
Rory
Rory
just moved to 1 under.
1
so,
under through 4. Odds are they're probably not going to finish it because they had an hour and a half fog delay this morning. So
That was crazy. Did you see
I
that
didn't see
photo?
any because I was working. So
You see the photo? There was an amazing photo.
But I mean, it's
can pull it
San
up.
Francisco, it's San Diego,
They do
Torrey
that-
Pines.
they
It's
do
on the
that
it's on the water.
Every morning is a fog.
Everybody, all the like Shackelford and all those guys just put like a rolling eyes thing on
Yeah.
Twitter this morning. Like, oh yeah, we knew this was coming. But yeah,
And half the people that live out there are in a fog too. You know what I'm saying?
Please don't get me started. Anyways, to repeat what I said, no surprises. And we're looking I'm looking at this tournament's not going to start till Saturday. Seriously, Saturday morning when they tee off, weed out everybody, push them all to the back of the field. Is there a cut at the U.S. Open?
Is there a putt?
Yeah,
of
there
course.
is, right? There's a couple tournaments that don't have a cut. Cut everybody that doesn't sniff it, and then get on with it. So that's my feeling.
Yeah, it should be interesting. How about the Molinari brothers? According to Rex Hoggard, Francesco is tied for second. His brother Eduardo, who's even more rare than Francesco, is
Tied
tied
for
for
eighth.
eighth.
Wow.
So
2014 Open Championship. Wow.
that was interesting. Now, one of the big stories, this is coming into this week, and we put an article about it because they both denied Brad Faxon's report. Apparently, Barstool had an epic rant on it today, which I'm going to look into for later, so let's not completely blow the story because that'd be hilarious. But anyway, Koepka and DeChambeau, there's been a lot of talk about that. They were both asked about it. The USGA did not end up putting them together. Supposedly, according to Faxon in his report on Sirius Radio, or for whoever listens to that, the USGA asked DeChambeau if he'd be willing to play with Brooks Koepka. It would be a complete ratings grab, which was the only reason they would do that.
They did it.
And you said it last week that you hated it, and you still hate it. You still hated the idea this week.
Dumb.
Now I do hope they get paired together just by chance.
Well, I mean that's what they're hoping now.
Right.
I mean that's the only way
I
it
think
should
that-
happen. A prefabricated pairing is going to do nothing but what you said. Is a ratings grab. I almost said screen grab. A ratings grab.
But
That's
they're
going
only screen grabs
But it's
already.
going to do nothing. Like what does the USGA think that they're going to do? They're going to like fight on the tee box or something like that? Like that's not going to happen like that. The whole thing at the PGA Championship when Bryson walked by and Brooks rolled his eyes, that was completely, what's it called? Completely out of the blue and not fabricated. That's the stuff that sells. You know what I mean? So you putting them together is just trying to force the issue. So it's just not going to make it any better. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Or get anything out of it, should I say.
So apparently when Bryson teed off today, I saw him tee off, and then I left to come here, as I came here a little bit early to hang out with my good friend Pat Ford. Apparently people were sharing Brooks again at the US Open. So I don't know if
I watched it the first tee. I didn't hear that.
they were who was their sideline reporter? Who's the on-course guy? Was it Bones that was with them, or
No, I think
Noda.
Bones was following the DJ group, I think.
Well, whoever was with that group on the on-course reporter said that a couple people
I didn't hear that. I'm kind of mad I didn't hear that.
Yelled out Brooks. So I didn't necessarily hear it either, but that's what they were saying. So maybe he was just as he was walking down.
See, that's the. I mean,
I think that's hilarious, though.
it's funny, but it's just it gets old after a while.
It does, and you just hope it's a real rivalry, because then that makes it fun.
I genuinely think
Or
they don't care for each other.
Because
Like they're respectful like professionally, but I just don't think they care for each other at all.
Well, there's the other part of it with the PIP, the player instead
That
of the
too.
program.
Yeah, that too.
People are wielding that out as a conspiracy
That
theory.
could be let's hate each other so that
Right.
maybe we'll split it down the road.
Meanwhile, they're having beers in the clubhouse together.
Right, like working out together, getting a sweet pump.
They're like, yeah, we really fooled these dumbasses.
Screwed the pooch here, baby. Let's go. Yeah, no. So yeah, I don't think obviously I don't think that would happen. I mean, crazier crap's happened, but like I don't know. It really makes you wonder if there wasn't an extra monetary thing involved. Like, would this actually be a thing? So
You do wonder, and that's been one conspiracy theory about this. But this in theory, and this theoretically started before.
Did he get back down to 1 under? Wrong.
I don't know. He just made a huge putt.
Okay, so he's back down to 1 over. He went birdie, bogey, bogey, birdie. I think to stay even.
Yeah. So in theory, that's been one theory about this supposed rivalry, but it's been the big story on the PGA Tour. The other big story regarding this U.S. Open, well, not a big story, it's been a fun look back, is that, obviously this is the first U.S. Open, or first major at Torrey Pines since the 2008 Open, with Tiger winning on a broken leg.
What did they say? This is the third U.S. Open that Torrey's held in the past 13 years?
Second U.S. Open. It's been 13 years. It's been 13 years since
Or no,
2008.
what was it, 15?
It's their second U.S. Open.
They said third for something. I forget what the year was.
Maybe that
Anyways.
could be the third major, maybe. Second U.S. Open.
Maybe, yeah. Third major, second U.S. Open in 15 years or
I'm
something
not
like
even
that.
sure
I don't
about
know.
that. I didn't hear it, but it's the first time since 2008. Real quickly, just because we're both Tiger fans, but what do you remember about 2008? Where were you watching, and what were your thoughts?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
It was.
Probably watching it in the clubhouse at the golf course. I don't even remember. Like honestly, I don't remember. I do remember watching it. I don't know where I was. But yeah, insane. What, broken tibia, broken fibia, and a torn ACL?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Hit the bunker shot, the bunker shot, and that was it. It was just insane. See him hobbling up the fairway. I mean, it's just absolutely nuts.
Mario is questioning my 92 at Torrey Pines from 2009.
Who?
Mario is
Who's that?
questioning. Mario
He hasn't been
Martinez.
around lately.
I know.
I
It's
know.
true. He's abandoning us.
Another country heard
You
from.
know why?
Oh.
You know why? Because everyone's getting pumped up because we have Hamilton on after the show.
Oh,
So that's why they're all
that-
tuning in early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
okay.
for those that don't know why I'm referencing. After this is us again. We have episode 5
A double dose
of the RA Amateur Series featuring Mike Hamilton. That'll be on right after this show. So this stream is going to be cut off. Then we're going to come back up with that. Be a fun conversation. But that's why he's tuning in.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I should have known better.
Yeah. Hi Mario. Thanks for tuning in to the show today. Abandoning us for a few weeks.
Oh man.
But yes, I did really shoot at 92 at Torrey Pines in 2009. I wasn't playing from the back tees. Obviously, I was playing from the regular tees. Yeah. So yeah, and I wasn't playing. Certainly, it wasn't U.S. Open conditions. But yes, I did actually shoot at 92 at Torrey Pines because I posted my scorecard today on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it. I said, just wondering, just checking to see how many people I beat.
Right.
You never know. Mario says, when am I interviewing Odds? Derek Audette. Whenever he wants to. I've already extended the invitation. So we'll see. We'll try to keep rattling off interviews and episodes of the RA Amateur Series podcast. It's been a lot of fun. But anyway, a few local notes that we want to get to. And then we'll get back to some of the U.S. Open stuff if you guys have thoughts about that. Obviously, the final RA Amateur qualifier took place on Wednesday at Crystal Lake. The guy that won it, McKinley Slade, he shot 3 under, and he was the first tee time off.
Oh, wow.
So he's completely set the tone for the rest of the day,
Wow.
which meant that the cut didn't move.
Yeah.
And the cut was 6 over. It stayed there all day. Exactly 22 players got in.
That's good when you. That's good as a guy
the
playing
first
from the
tee
back
time.
to know exactly where you got to play to, right? That's fantastic.
the
Like,
first
I
tee
don't know
time.
if I'm gonna have to play to a 3 or a 6 or 10 over, whatever it is. So that's actually kind of good for the guys in the field.
But also
Later-
hurt guys
later-
in the field
later in
because
the
the cut didn't move.
Well, at least they know what they have to play to. You know what I
Right.
mean?
So pretty incredible. I mean, he was literally the first tee time off.
That's
so I
funny.
double checked it, and he shot 3. He was the only player on the par, I believe, for the tournament. McKinley Slade. So watch out for him at Kirkbride in a couple of weeks. So congrats to everybody that made it. 2 Kirkbride guys made the cut on this particular qualifier: Alan Lau and Pat Healy. So congrats to them. They're both, I think, 1 or 2 over, somewhere around that area. But exactly 22 players made the cut. So the field is final. They haven't released the full field yet, but obviously we can kind of put it all together a little bit. So congrats to all of those guys. One thing that's been interesting, talking about amateur golf, and I'm not sure how much you've followed it, but what these little podcasts I've been doing, a big thing has been talking about how these top college players, Patrick and Davis Chatfield, and these guys aren't coming back to play in the RI Amateur. They don't come back to play because there's not enough points. And that's been and that could be I might do a story. I got to double check and make sure they're actually not playing in the RI Amateur first. But that's been fascinating. I didn't know much about it. I've kind of gotten educated on it from these guys, Jamie Lukowitz and Bobby Leopold and others. And I'm interested to see what Hamilton has to say in part 2 of the Golf Dudes later. But I thought that's been kind of interesting about the amateur rankings and the point system. Something I never really thought about. I just figured they didn't want to play.
Like it's not worth their time, really.
Yeah.
In order for the effort,
Because I think Jamie was saying that they could come here and win the RI Amateur, but because it's not a good field, it's like a D field, they actually lose points.
It's like giving shots back to the course.
Yeah. So I thought that was fascinating.
That's crazy.
Might do a story on it for the next week or so. In the next week or so, assuming these guys aren't actually playing again, they're all playing the Northeast Amateur next week. So I just have to make sure they're actually not playing because they don't look like a moron. So that's been an interesting thing. Looking forward to hearing what Hammy's take on it is coming up at around 8:30. Other local stuff, congrats to Nick Emery of St. Ray's. He's a freshman at St. Ray's. He qualified for the NEPGA Junior Championship today over at Crystal Lake. He shot even par. He's a freshman in high school. How are you doing?
Right.
What were you shooting as a freshman in high school?
And like I said, that course can be quirky as far as the weather goes, so that's impressive.
Absolutely. I've only played there a few times. Obviously, we've talked about Crystal Lake a lot over the last week or so due to the amateur qualifier.
I love it. It's one of my favorite public courses.
Yep. And Nick Emery was the only Rhode Islander to qualify for the NEPGA Junior Championship, so congrats to him. And a heartbreaker for Brad Adamonis. I don't know if you were following that at all in the Mass Open over the last couple of days. He had the lead going into the back 9, and then he played the back 9 at 5 over. The Mass Open is like a huge amateur event.
I wish I could play a back 9 and 5 over.
Yeah. And I think the purse was like 75,000.
Oh wow!
It's a legit
Nice.
tournament. And Brad Adamonis is on the Corn Ferry Tour, but you don't really see much of him.
Yeah.
He's trying to build himself back up, and that would have been a huge win for him. But unfortunately, he kind of fell apart a little bit on the back 9. We know all about that. So hopefully he'll pick himself back up and get back out there and get back to the Corn Ferry Tour. I know he said he's trying to play some qualifiers and get back in there. How about that fight on the Corn Ferry Tour? Hopefully he doesn't get involved in any fights.
Oh yeah, I haven't listened to that part of the other podcast yet. I'm just coming to it right now, so.
Because at first, when it first broke,
he actually gave details of actually what happened because people
Yeah.
were saying it was pace of play, this that,
Right.
but I haven't gotten to that part where he actually the kid actually
the kid was
explains
mad.
what happens.
The kid, and I forgot the kid's names. And yeah, he was on. I guess he was on the Barstool podcast. We can just say bar. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, foreplay.
They're a lot bigger than we are at the moment.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's not that big of a deal. And I guess he was saying it was reported, and we reported off of, I think Golf Digest.
I think it was
had
Golf
something.
Digest.
Yeah, as you actually sent me the story about it. I saw
Yeah.
the tweet, but it seemed like questionable for a while. You know what I mean? It
And
was
then
kinda
the
like,
second
there were no
one I did
details.
was
It's like-
it was actually confirmed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because then the Corn Ferry Tour issued a statement about it. I guess it was the guy who was mad because the other guy wasn't helping looking for his ball and something. And these guys are Corn Ferry Tour qualifiers. This is like,
Was
you
that
know, this is like real golf
Kansas, I
because
think, or something like that. I think it was
I
Kansas.
guess I feel like it was Kansas.
Yeah.
And you know, it's tough living on the Corn Ferry Tour, especially when you're trying to
You got to
qualify
pay
for
your
Corn
way
Ferry
everywhere,
Tours.
you know. And money doesn't come easy. And the guy straight up assaulted him right on the golf course.
Jumped
Jumped
him. Then the
him.
dad-
punched him in the face.
Yeah.
Like, and the cops were called. Like, there were arrests made.
Right.
Like
Right,
on
yeah,
a
arrested.
at a golf tournament. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't see anything wrong with it either. But it's golf. It's not the UFC. It's not hockey. You know, I don't.
Maybe then people would watch.
Well, maybe. Well, the Corn Ferry Tour, anyways. But yeah, it was serious stuff. Like I was scrolling through my Twitter on lunch break, and I'm like, "Holy crap! Did this actually happen?"
Right.
Like, and then you got to wait a couple hours for details to actually come out, and then. But yeah, how's that for a Monday story?
Yeah. And once it was confirmed, because like I said, at first it was like, well, first of all, Monday, the Twitter account Monday Q Info, Monday qualifying info,
Yeah.
tweeted about it, and they're usually pretty accurate. And one of the-
Especially during a major week, you know.
Right. And so, and to be clear, this wasn't qualifying for the U.S. Open. This is qualifying for the Corn Ferry
the
Tour
Corn Ferry,
event.
yeah.
So, so interesting stuff. Obviously, the big story next week, super excited, is going to be the Northeast Amateur. Super excited for that. I want to be there every single day. I'm hoping to sneak in there Tuesday at the sponsors event to interview Steve Scott. Do you know who Steve Scott is? He is the guy that Tiger Woods beat in the 1996 U.S. Amateur.
Nice.
And he wrote a book about,
That'd be nice.
hey, Tiger, move your mark back. Because he famously reminded Tiger Woods to move his mark back. He ended up losing the match because of it. Steve Scott ended up losing the match. So I'm reading the book, and I reached out to my Instagram, and he's going to be around on Tuesday talking to the amateur players, talking to the guys at the sponsors event. So
Nice.
hopefully, we'll see. But that'd be pretty cool, even if it's just 5 minutes. So we'll see. I might crash the sponsors event. Anyway, so there's that. Back to the U.S. Open. Let's get back to some U.S. Open stuff, because that's what the big story is. Matt Wolff came out of nowhere today. I thought he was an emerging
Played
story.
well. He played well.
I don't know what the odds are for him coming in, but
Yeah,
he came out
he
of
hadn't played
nowhere.
in 2 months almost, right?
2 months.
Something
his
like
first,
that. Yeah.
First tournament in 2 months. I guess he's had mental health issues.
Yeah, he didn't seem.
Apparently,
he
all
didn't
these
seem like
athletes
he
have
was-
mental health issues nowadays.
Well, yeah. Yeah, he didn't seem like himself. What was it? The Masters?
Well, remember, he would like shoot high scores and then drop out immediately.
Oh, that's
Remember?
right. Yeah.
Remember?
I forgot about that. Then
Remember,
we
I
thought it
think we
was
did a
his
show-
wrist or his leg
Right.
or something like.
I
Yeah,
think-
that's right. Yeah.
I think we did a segment on it. We didn't do the whole show, obviously, but we did a segment on it. What's wrong with Matt Wolff? Because this guy was supposed to be this great player. He had a
He'll
great
be
run.
all right. Maybe
Yeah.
it's maybe a head thing, you know. So, yeah, he played well today. Made some putts, drove the ball well. I mean, the kid's a driving stud. He's up there with DJ and Rory and all those guys. So, he's no slouch. Yeah, and hopefully it was just a minor setback. Hopefully he's all better now, and hopefully he can get back to top tens.
All right, now the thing that everyone wants to know is Who did Rich Capelli bet on to win?
I actually
You didn't
forgot
bet,
to I
did you?
forgot to put my thing in
You
this morning
bum.
when I woke up. But it was I had a couple things going. I wanted the usuals. Rom, obviously he was the favorite, so you put a little slice on that. And then the usuals, Finau, Schauffele, and Spieth, you know, the usuals. I don't really deviate from, maybe a little bit on Brooks, but other than that, I don't really deviate from my picks in majors. They're usually pretty much straight down the line for everything.
Now, are there going to be any prop bets that you can do over the weekend? or no?
I can't look at them right now because the round's still in thing.
Oh, that's right,
But,
the tournament's still going
I'm
on.
assuming there's going to be second or third chance bets, like, you know, pick 3 to win, you know, all that stuff. Head-to-head, there's usually head-to-head matchups, or even threesome matchups. So I'll definitely take a look at those once the round ends, if the round ends, which it might not because of the fog this morning. So
It doesn't feel like they're going to be able to finish today.
I mean,
but
what
they're also
are we
two-
looking at?
They're also 3 hours behind us, so there's
Five- what,
only
they're-
4 o'clock over there. Oh,
What are we looking
5
at? Like
o'clock
they're
over
on
there,
like
5
5 or
o'clock.
6 maybe?
Yeah, Sergio's on
5
4.
or 6. Yeah. So
Some guys are still on 1. DJ's on 3.
some guys haven't even teed off yet. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
So it's not. So we don't feel like they're going to finish today. But the beauty is it's on all night, so we'll be watching
Yeah,
it
prime
certainly
time.
all night.
Absolutely.
How about Bubba Watson even, Dustin Johnson even,
Oh, is he? Yep. Okay. Will Zalatoris even?
P Reed even part. That's one of my
Cantlay
bets.
even.
So let me know what you think of these bets. We got
Big Stu. Stu at 1 under. There we go. That would have been I would have loved to see the odds on Stewart. Oh,
You probably would have been similar to Phil Mickelson at the PGA.
Probably.
The funny thing is,
He's
everyone
playing
was
so good,
Everyone,
too.
everyone was betting on Phil Mickelson. I guess the sports books were going crazy.
was-
There's no way he was going to win it.
it was like 80 to 1 or something like that. Something like that.
to win this
Something
week.
like that,
And everyone
yeah.
was putting money on because of what happened at the PGA. There's
I mean,
no
you
way
may
he's
as well.
gonna
You put
back to back.
$50 or $100 on it. The payout's insane. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so,
totally.
anyways, what were you saying?
Totally.
What'd you
Sorry,
do?
so what do you think of these bets? We Patrick Reed.
Check mark.
We liked him because he won the Farmers. He
Check
has a good
mark. I
history
like it.
there. Tony Finau. He's going to break through at some point.
He's my perennial loser major pick.
we always try to bet a favorite ish. So we went with Xander Schauffele.
Yep. Check. That's all.
We
my
were
stuff.
nervous about John Rahm just because of
Of the
him
COVID
pulling.
thing.
Not because of COVID specifically, just because he's coming back.
He's coming back from the 2-week
everything.
layoff.
It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
when did you stop playing? You know.
I have no problem
Whatever.
putting a slice on him. No, he plays
No,
well.
He's off to a good start. It seems
Yeah.
like, or okay start anyway.
So you're
and
3
then
for 3.
and then Danny Boy loves himself some Louis Oosthuizen,
Okay, yeah,
who
whatever.
finished second by the way at the PGA. He could have won the.
Yeah,
He made that eagle putt.
I'm good with that. I'm good. You're 4 for 4 in my book. I
So
like it.
those are the best we have. Joel Bassett chimes in. Hello, Joel, and he says he bet Patrick Cantlay. That's his guy.
Well, he's
Or
sitting
is
at
he just
even.
making fun of you?
What is this?
He
Even
could just be
through,
making fun of you.
even through 2?
Yeah.
Okay, even through 2. So we don't really have much going on.
Nothing
there.
to go off of there.
I mean, I wouldn't mind putting something on Zalatoris too. I mean, he
Yeah,
might be my perennial major bet slice. You know?
He's even through 3.
Yeah. So.
Oh, they have the odds down on the side. Who knows?
Oh, here we go. It must be live DraftKings.
40-1.
Zalatoris. Yeah. All right. Cantlay 60 to 1. Yeah.
Stuart Sink 150-1.
Woof, dude! I'm telling you, long shot bet. Wow. Woo. Wow.
So there's that. Oh, I didn't realize.
I
that.
actually said something to myself before I went to bed last night, and I'm like, wake up early to put bets in.
Russell Henley and Francesco Molinari and Cabrera Bay, who are leading, are 300, 300, and 400-1.
Wow. So Henley has a better shot. Well, Cabrera Bello,
Cabrera Bello hasn't been playing, right?
He does. That was funny. When I got out of the shower, they were actually interviewing him before I left, and he said that that's his first competitive round at Torrey Pines because he doesn't play in the January one because he plays in the Abu Dhabi.
Where they're all overseas.
Because they're all overseas.
The
So
same for
his first
I don't know if it's his first competitive round, but they were saying the same for Tyrrell Hatton.
for Taylor Hutton, yeah.
'Cause they play
So he said,
overseas.
oh,
That's right.
this for my
Good
first
call.
round.
Yeah.
I said, I thought I played great. He goes, dude, you shot a bogey free. Was it 60, 68? 68. Like that's incredible for not ever playing. You know, he's like, oh yeah, that's my first competitive round. You know, I play overseas in January when the was that the Farmers?
Yeah.
When the Farmers is played. So you know, he said he was obviously happy with himself. So, I mean, Torrey plays tough, man. It's a fantastic first round.
Absolutely, yeah. Of course, it seems like they're playing tough. I was
How about the
surprised.
rough?
The rough is very thick. Some of the lies they're getting, and
Dude, you
they're
can't
just
even see
hacking
the
out.
ball. Like you could be looking at the ball and not see it. That's how like intertwined all the grass is, and it's just crazy.
That's gonna be the rough at Kirkbride in like 2 weeks when you come back to play.
Oh
for
my God.
July.
Oh my God, the freaking
The amateurs a week away. Have fun.
The member guest on Thursday, and then the 4th of July tournament on Friday.
Good luck.
I mean Monday. Oh my God. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's not going to be fun.
Joel continues. He says he's team can't lie all the way. He says, but you would think that it's Rahm's tournament to lose. What do you think about that?
That seems to be the consensus with everybody.
Everyone's
I can
picking,
agree with
picking Rahm. The mercy,
he was the
sympathy.
he was the
sympathy pick.
Yeah.
Because of what happened to him.
Yeah,
It
well,
does-
that
if you
and-
believe in karma, which I kind of do,
Imagine
and
that,
I kind
right?
of thought that. If you believe in karma, sports karma or whatever,
I mean, that's why.
that's a pick for sure.
No, I like it. I like it.
So interesting. So we'll continue with some of this U.S. Open stuff. We'll do some other local stuff. I know there's a big concert going on at King's Crossing over the weekend on Friday.
Yes, I sent that to you.
Yes. I don't know if I would call it a big concert, but anyway, there's live music.
Live at the King.
and other things going on as well. Joel Bassett says karma, yes, but he's playing insane golf. Also,
Yeah.
he was playing insane golf at the Memorial.
6-shot
Obviously,
lead.
6-shot.
Yeah,
And
the
nobody
WD.
and
DQ.
nobody got to 18. Nobody got to 18.
I know.
Right in that tournament,
Like-
which was the funny part. But to his credit, he handled it in a classy way this week at his press conference.
But it's so funny. Like
Obviously.
even my dad said, he goes. I was watching it live, and you would have thought like somebody died. My dad thought like somebody died in his family the way he reacted. He was like, "No way,
Right,
really?" And he didn't really flip out, but like all the emotion like drained out of his
well,
body.
he just bent over.
yeah,
It
he's
was
like,
unbelievable.
I was like, "Oh boy."
So yeah, it was I mean, obviously it sucked, but as a content guy, it was a great video. It was, I mean, classic. I mean, that camera guy should get a raise.
Yeah.
Obviously
Well, they were also
obviously
saying
knew something was going on.
like the Twitter
but-
world was saying like, oh, why would you do that in front of everybody and all
Well,
this
sure,
and
but
all
that's-
that? But
sure,
do you
that's-
really
that's-
want him to walk through the crowd
And he
if
slapped
he's
high
technically
five- slap-
COVID
slap high-
positive? You know what I
slap
mean?
high- right. Slap high five,
So I see
acknowledge
both.
all
I
that
see
stuff,
both
yeah.
things. It was kind of crappy in the sense that he got
they
aired
did
out
it.
like that,
Right.
but
But
the
you get him
alternative was
touching fans,
you
or,
know.
signing autographs. and
Yeah,
then somebody
yeah,
else
of
gets
course.
it. And then you have a whole outbreak, and then the whole thing's
the whole thing. Yeah, the whole thing's screwed for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, I get it.
So no, I agree with the people that say they kind of did him dirty a little bit.
I get-
but,
I'm on
you
both
know,
sides of the
I'm not-
fence.
Yeah, no, I can see both sides as well.
Yeah.
So we have more of this good stuff coming up. We're gonna hit our commercial, quote unquote, break, and we'll be back with more U.S. Open stuff, some local stuff, and everything else that's going on in the world of golf. So we'll be right back, folks. Thanks for stick with us. Billy Andre joins the show. Billy, thanks so much for doing this, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm very excited to be joined by an 11-time Emmy Award winner, and that is Armin Katayan. Massachusetts Women's Amateur Champion Allison Paik.
The days of the country club just being golf and maybe one amenity are gone. Unfortunately, Metacomet doesn't have those.
He has a very rare condition called kyphoscoliotic Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And at the time of diagnosis, there was only 60 documented cases in the world.
I mean, we legitimately played the last 4 holes at Newport National. You could not see 50 yards.
And we're back. Thanks to everybody for tuning in for another episode of the Golf Dudes podcast. Hope everyone's having a great Thursday night. We opened the show talking about some U.S. Open stuff. The next couple of weeks are going to be all amateur, basically. A Northeast Amateur, our amateur, and everything else in between. So, sportscasters amateur.
Yeah, hardcore.
We have Mr. Pat Ford sitting across from us making fun of me, but that's okay.
It's easy.
Yep. So do a lot of pro stuff today. What else do you think is the biggest? What else is the biggest story? We talk about Matt Wolff. Talk about Brooks Koepka. Brooks Koepka shows up at a major, shocking. He had the solo lead for a little while.
Dude, you know what I was thinking to myself? I was sitting in my chair watching it today, and he is such a cocky SOB. Like, he'll hit a shot no matter how good it is, and he'll just have that walk.
Swag, yeah.
The saunter.
Right.
I'm better than anybody else. I'm too cool. I love it. I love how cocky he is, and I love how everybody hates it. I love it. The shoulder lean, the tweak. You know, I love it. It's everything.
So no surprise to see him up there. There's been some changes on the leaderboard.
Here we go.
Rory is climbing. Hayden Buckley, whoever that, something named Hayden Buckley.
And Richard
is
Bland.
is in the lead. Hayden Buckley is 1,000 to 1. How are you
Christian
doing?
Bezadenhout, 3 under, all of a sudden.
All right, so
125 to 1. I like that they added that to the side. That's awesome.
I just noticed that.
I
I just
wonder
noticed
if
like
they
5 minutes ago. I feel like a complete
Is that the
moron.
PGA
No,
website?
This is the Golf Channel.
Oh.
It's golfchannel.com.
That would be awesome if they could add that to
And
the
it's
PGA
through-
Tour app.
Apparently, it's through PointsBet, if you're interested.
Points bet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there. That PointsBet.
Okay.
So, for those who are wondering where these odds are coming from, I'm on the Golf Channel's website, giving them a few pages.
Yeah, they don't do that on the PGA website.
And
odds. Here we go.
it's 2 points bet. Joel Bassett says, "Great show, guys. Thanks, Joel. Hope all is well." I'm gonna put an article up about it. There you go.
And
Which has got the odds
it's
up.
actual fluctuating.
Yeah, it
Let's
changes.
go. Even more degenerate.
Which that's what we want. This is the general.
Russell Henley's plus 3,000 right now. 300 to 1.
Yep.
This is crazy.
Real quick, talking
anyways.
about live music. What else is going on at King's Crossing? Live Music Friday. We're gonna have an article about that tomorrow.
Playing around tomorrow with the boys.
There you go.
Then we got the ABCD blind draw on Sunday.
playing that?
Spots still available. Sign up at the pro shop. Guests are welcome too. Bring your own foursome.
I gotta put my dad on Father's Day, so that's not gonna go.
Yeah, playing with pops. Yeah, me too. Hopefully we can win something. What else?
We play to win the game.
We play to win the game. We
Some
got
puts
a
at
busy
some point.
end of June, start to July. Oh no, start to July actually.
Yeah, I'm super
That
busy.
4th of July weekend is going to be fantastic. And then we got the amateur obviously after the week
Next
after.
week at the Northeast Amateur.
So that is going to be
so, yeah.
fun.
Absolutely. Nothing else going on at the King?
Hopefully, not that I know of. No, they got live at the King on Friday. I can't remember who the guest is. It's I sent it to you in the email.
We don't need to.
Crossroad Blues. Is it? Oh no, Robert Black. Robert Black at the King.
Elvis.
7 p.m. No, that's July 2nd. Dude, is that the wrong email?
No, this is the one you sent me. Anyway, we're not going to go back and
Anyways,
forth.
yeah.
But anyway, July 2nd. That's one less thing I have to
They
write
have live at
tonight.
the
Perfect.
King. They have live at the King every week. So
One less thing I have to write tonight. I'll find out who it is. Anyway, changes to the course going over well.
yeah,
Everyone
the
likes
grass is coming in. The grass is staying nice.
it. How many times you been in that bunker on is it 6?
6, just once the first
once.
day.
Oh, there you go.
And I
All right.
got to pull it out because it was under green under repair. So
There you go.
yeah, no, I've not to toot my own horn. I've been playing very well.
Toot.
Toot. I've been playing very well. I've dropped a bunch of strokes off my handicap in the past 3 weeks. So, I've been playing very well, keeping the ball in play. Played with you a bunch of times. So, yeah, we're a lot better than last season. Let's just say that.
Yeah, you're off to a good start.
Yeah, hopefully we can keep it through.
Keep it going. I know, like you mentioned, in July there are a few competitive rounds coming up that we're in together. So that'll be fun with that. Do you think that Faxon made that up, or do you think he spoke out of turn?
What, both things or just the one thing?
The most recent thing with Koepka and DeChambeau, because they both denied it. But I did say in the article, to be
I don't
fair,
know, man. I honestly don't know.
They did say I did say in the article that they could have just denied it to make sure they don't spark the rest. Keep
That's
sparking the
exactly
story.
yeah.
So I made the point that out. As much as everyone likes dumping on Faxon, I understand. I get it. I tried to be fair.
He had that whole 6 to 8 week thing with Koepka,
Month.
and then
6 to 8
6 to 8 month thing, and then he came back 2 weeks later and played in the Masters,
Mm-hmm.
and then just was a runner up at the PGA. I mean, I honestly don't know what to think without actually going in on the subject. So I'm just going to keep it at that. I honestly don't know what to think.
For sure. So that was the interesting story
definitely interesting nonetheless.
of the week. The PGA Tour, while we're on the topic, because this was another big story that kind of flew under the radar because of the DeChambeau Koepka nonsense. PGA Tour is getting rid of green books.
Green
They're
books, yes.
they're banning,
I meant to
banning green books. Is that good? Bad?
Yeah.
Rory seemed to like.
Rory liked it, yeah.
He said, I use a green book, but I want to get rid of
just
it.
because that's the same thing with Schauffele with the elbow anchored putter. He goes, "Do I think it should be banned? Yes, but if I can use it, I'm going to use it." Same exact thing. Yeah, it's your job to read greens, wind, like whatever.
And that's part of the
It's
game.
like-
That's part of the game too.
Yeah, it's like
Your part of the game is how you read the greens.
you
and-
legit place
get
your
caddies for
ball.
this
You
stuff.
place your ball on the piece of paper that tells you where it's going to break, and that's stupid. You got to do it all by eye, feel, like have the cat like Dustin Johnson's brother does. He walks the slope of the path to the ball, stuff like that. Like you shouldn't have a green book to tell you which way the green slants. You know what I mean? Most of these guys have played these venues. Now,
million
venues,
times,
I'm
yeah.
talking non-major venues as well. A bunch of times they should know the golf course doesn't change that much unless the green is actually being redone. So I don't get it. I don't understand.
Some interesting scores. If you want to know, none of these people are interesting. Daniel Berger finished at even. Hideki, the Master champion.
We had a
is
couple
even through
of
8.
holeouts from the bunker too. You see those?
I didn't see any.
I think there was
I'm sure
3
there
or
were, yeah.
4 today. I think a bunch of almost aces on the 8 too. The pin was directly behind the bunker. We had a couple almost rolling aces off the tee. Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting.
Stewart Singh went backwards.
Oh no,
He's at even. John Rahm's backwards at even.
Scheffler's even too.
Patrick Cantlay. There's Joel's guy, Patrick Cantlay.
Lee Westwood still.
Westwood, he got married. He's on his honeymoon.
He's on his honeymoon in San Diego.
Yeah. So perfect.
Ooh. All right, Hatton's still 1 under.
So
He's final. He's final too. Matty Fitz, yeah, he had an up and down. Matty Fitz had an up and down round. So, yeah,
So those are some of the scores. For those that are watching, who'd you bet on? Who you picking? We can talk about that as well. We're getting ready to wrap up this show in a few minutes here. Again, programming note. Stay tuned because coming up in just a few minutes after this is the RA Amateur Series Part 5 with Mike Hamilton. I know everyone's going to be tuning in for that. Excited to talk to him about one, his practice round today at Wanamoyset, which is why he's coming on so late. And then excited to talk about the Northeast Amateur. I believe it's his Northeast Amateur debut. I'm going to ask him off the air before we go on, just so I don't look like a moron. And then talk about that. And then obviously the RA Amateur. He's among the betting favorites to win the thing at home at Kirkbride. So excited about that. Caitlin Allen messages. By the way, where's Justin Thomas? I think he craps himself today.
JT.
Caitlin says, what would be more impressive than winning on a broken leg is winning without being in the field. Okay.
Okay.
Tiger Woods is winning every day, believe me. Broken leg and not broken leg.
Sergio's.
Where is JT?
I'm
Is he
looking
crap
right
his
now.
pants? He was not doing too well earlier.
He's not even. That's for damn sure.
He's, I think, checked 2 or 3 over maybe.
Fleet-
I just want to make sure I bust
Fleetwood
her,
and
bust
Shane
her up.
Lowry
She likes JT.
1 over. Spieth 1 over.
He just teed
Leishman
off
1
though.
over. Yeah. Yeah, Spieth through 6. Where the
2 over.
Kuchar's 2 over.
2 over.
Abraham Answer.
Tie for
Koepka.
80th. Justin Thomas.
Lonto Griffin 2 over. Holy crap. Victor Hovland 3 over.
Hovland was a bet that a lot of people were making.
Billy Horschel 3 over. Gary Woodland 3 over. Finau 3 over. Jesus. Poulter 3 over.
Yeah, Poulter. Yeah.
Wow.
The thing is though, like
Higo, he won last
Yeah,
week.
that's the guy that-
He's 3
yeah.
over.
the thing is though, like it's the U.S. Open, so like even though it seemed, and I was even telling like Caitlin this, it was like they're not out of it.
No. No. Especially not
two
there.
2 over is not out of
Especially
it.
not
These
there.
guys, Henley's not going to stay at 4 under.
No.
Now the winner of the tournament might be 4 under for all I know with the U.S. Open. So just because they're 2 over, even 3 over is not really out of it. 4,
No, I don't see Bezaden, who is through 9. I don't really see
anybody catching 4 under. Unless somebody
maybe
else goes
five,
crazy.
maybe five,
Ro-
if
Ro-
that.
Rory's on the course, and he's 2 on there, so he'd be the only one that you'd be scared of, right? If he projects, I don't know what hole he's on, but he's on the course.
He lost a shot. He's 1 under.
Oh, he's backwards. All right, never mind. He's not getting it.
Tied for 9th.
So
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, nobody's ever out of it. I mean, it's the U.S. Open, especially at Torrey Pines. I mean, we said that last year with the other place that it was at.
Colin Morikawa won.
Yeah, no, that was
Bryson DeChambeau, Winged Foot.
At Winged Foot, yeah. I mean, these U.S. Open venues are just ridiculous. So nobody's ever out of it. So
That's what makes it so great. And this year it's in prime time. It's going to be awesome.
like I saw my guide. I kept clicking. I'm like, oh, this is gonna go late. Let's go.
It's going to be until 10 p.m., which means my favorite part of the whole thing, live from the U.S. Open, starts
At 11 or at 10:30. Yeah.
At 10:30.
Yeah.
Watch that 3 times and then go to bed.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite part. So, anyways, that's been another great episode of the Golf Dudes podcast. Enjoy your golf this weekend. Good luck to everyone playing in the Kirkbride 2-day member guest, including my dad and I think Uncle Bob is playing. So good luck to them. We'll have some of the results of that come up on the website on Saturday and as well. And then we'll begin getting ready for the Northeast Amateur next weekend. And stay tuned for that. We'll have tons of coverage of it. I'll have tons of coverage of it. We'll have basically the whole show will be based on it on Thursday night for the most part, barring something crazy happening elsewhere, which is possible. So excited for that as well. We'll have a Northeast Amateur preview and everything else. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. But I hope you also don't go anywhere because in a few minutes, probably 10, 15 minutes or so, give them some time. Mike Hamilton is going to come on for this 5th episode of the RA Amateur series. I made it to 5 episodes. That's 4 more episodes than I thought I was going to do because I didn't know how it was going to go and if people would take to it. But we've gotten all the big hitters. We've had Jamie Lukowitz on. We've had Bobby Leopold on. Today I talked to Brad Valoy, which was a fascinating conversation. And obviously I have Hammy on tonight. And then other guests lined up for the next couple of days. But I had to get Leopold and Hamilton in this week before the Northeast Amateur next week, obviously. So super excited to talk to him. And thanks to everybody for checking those out on replays. The live views are the live views. We've been doing them in the middle of the day. So they're only going to do so well, but they've been doing great in replays and in the article. So that's the most important thing. So anyways, long story short, stay tuned. This stream is going to cut off. And we're going to come back up with a new stream, the same place. It'll be on our Facebook page and also on the Coalition Radio Network's Facebook page. And we'll have Mike Hamilton on in just a few minutes for RA Amateur Series, Episode 5. So thanks, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you in a few minutes.